First of all, welcome to Mental Evolution, the channel where we get to influence over the influence. I want y'all to check out where I'm at. I'm in the darkness right now. Oh yeah. It's very, very dark out here. Can't see nothing. You can't see nothing. However, if it was daylight, you guys would say it's beautiful. But sometimes you gotta be in the darkness in order to make it to the light. That's the truth. Count back on me. It's Mental Evolution. Now I want to talk about tonight is a term we call loyalty. A lot of people make up their own definitions of loyalty. But I'm going to go here in the glossary. We're going to pick out the word loyalty and see what it means. Give me 1 second. I haven't been in this book in a while. But since me and my brother talked the other night about me starting a YouTube channel, I was like, damn, what I'm gonna talk about? Talk about my story. But this is pertaining to my story. Why is it taking me so long for one to find loyalty? Because there's a Jew. Man, y'all ain't doing nothing anyway, so y'all can work with me. Okay. Here it is. Loyal. Okay. After today, we're not making up our own definitions of loyal. Loyal. An adjective. In the brackets it says, see legal. I also have the legal dictionary. Number 1, faithful to one's country, friends, ideas, etc. 2, showing such faithfulness. Loyalist, one who supports the government doing a revolt. Okay, so loyal, faithful to one's country, friends, ideas, etc. Let's go to the legal definition. And I'm doing all of this like right now. This ain't pre-planned. I'm just going with the flow. Turned on the camera. Let's roll. I ain't playing nothing. Okay? And I'm smoking my cigar, so. Let's look. It's just a bunch of words. Some I've seen, some I haven't. Some I have to rescan. Brings up other ideas. Having a hard time. But you know what? Hard times are inevitable. I don't think this dictionary has the word in it. Okay, so loyal is not in the Black's Law Dictionary. Fifth edition, pocket version. Been over it 3 times. It's not in there. So when we talk about being loyal, we gotta look at how many people are actually loyal. Being faithful to your friends, your government, your leadership, mankind, plan, an idea, whatever sake may be. How many people are being loyal to people who aren't faithful to them? And that's one thing I would like to talk on right there. The one thing I would like to talk on is that being loyal. And people often use that word to soften you when they know that they're not going to be loyal to you. They want you to be loyal to them, but they're not going to be loyal to you. Your ideas, your plan, your goal, your philosophy. Not faithful. So how many people do you think has been loyal to an idea that wasn't loyal for them? An idea such as, you know, we gangbang in the hood, so, you know, we're gonna be loyal to this idea of we all throw up the same sign, we all congregate together, talk about issues in the neighborhood, people we don't like, things we would do violently to other people. You may be in a family and you got a certain social circle where you guys are supposed to be loyal to each other on the interface of the family. So you guys get together, it may be 2, 4, 6, 8 in a group that talks about everybody else in the family. And y'all faithful to the purpose of your goals and how you feel about the rest of the people in your family. But given the idea of the person that's actually indulging and listening to the rhetoric or the ideas of the majority, and this person is a minority in the group, they don't actually agree with everything, but they're agreeing just to get along. So when you agree just to get along, or you're loyal just to get along, sometimes you always, or sometimes you end up unhappy. Because you're not actually faithful to that. You don't really believe in that shit. Some of y'all know that shit ain't true. Excuse my language. But some of y'all know that these things aren't true. But you still agree in the face of the wicked. So when you go forward and the consequences of your agreement with the social circles that you indulge with, when those consequences come back, you don't really like those. They don't make sense. But you still have to endure the consequences because you agreed in front of faces, many faces. And you too ashamed to recant. You too ashamed to disagree. You too ashamed to be considered a coward. You too ashamed to see yourself inside the circle and then being casted outside of the circle. Because when you on the outside of the circle and you look at the circle without you in it, you feel ashamed. It's like you had this superpower and now you wake up and it don't exist anymore. But what if I told you, and not just me telling you, but sense, common sense tells you that that shit didn't make sense. Excuse my language. It really didn't make sense of what you agreed to once you reviewed the contract. The contract didn't make sense. A lot of people been in the contract that didn't make sense. A lot of people are in contracts that don't make sense, and relationships that don't make sense, friendships that don't make sense, households that don't make sense. A lot of people just don't make sense. But you are a part of it. How do you get out of that? I'll tell you. How do you get out of that? I'll tell you. First and foremost, you gotta know. When you know, you finally realize that the shit don't make sense, you gotta go back to yourself. You back alone, back by yourself, no longer coexisting with no one. Then you start to do an introspection on yourself, a re-evaluation. Researching yourself, researching what was I thinking when wow, that epiphany. You have that aha moment. Aha, damn, what the fuck? You start saying little things like that to yourself. So that's the introduction, common sense. What the fuck? Oh, damn. That's the introduction to common sense. So when your common sense sink in and you realize that, wow, I was going along to get along. Shit didn't make sense. Wow. So you gather all of the conversations, you heard all the words that was used, and if you got an arsenal of words, or let's say you just did this. You read the book where the word came from. Because everybody got their own definitions of words. Everybody got their own definition. And we're not doing that. We're not making up our own definitions. There's a book copyrighted with the word in there. The person that owns the word put the word in the book, copyrighted the book, get paid for the book, which is getting paid for the fucking word. So you gotta give credit where credit is due. You didn't make up the word. So stop letting people make you follow their definition of words that they don't own. It's like you've been in a neighborhood and somebody telling you these are the rules to this neighborhood, and you ask them, what part of the neighborhood do you own? And they say, oh, well, I don't own any of the neighborhood. No land, no house, no duplex, no trailer home. They don't even own a fucking car. But they're telling you how to exist in the neighborhood. Now I'm like, man, I'm calling police on these motherfuckers. Man, they tripping. That's what I'm doing. I don't feel no type of way about this shit. If I go to a neighborhood, motherfucker tell me some shit about what they doing and how it go, and I don't want to hear that shit. I'm calling the police on you because you tripping. But back to the subject at hand. Loyalty. First of all, what's wrong with loyalty these days is that you have to be loyal to the most popular person in the group. Whatever they say, go. Everybody else is getting along to get along. They're agreeing to get along. So if you are the new person in the group, which is the minority, you automatically lose. Like in the democracy, the majority rule. So if the most popular person says something and all of his or her proteges is around, they're gonna agree, which is natural. By you being the newcomer, the underdog, the nobody, the new person to the group, you're gonna agree to, because you just want a fucking friend. And they like you. You liked. So you find yourself in a situation where you dismiss being loyal to yourself, which is the first thing that got you fucked up. And you dismissed it because you wanted a friend. Friends are important. Not gonna lie. Friends are very important. I realized that at my age today. But where the situation got you fucked up is now that you just want a friend. You don't want loyalty for real. You don't want it for real. And you're convinced that loyalty is something that is shared. First, you have to share loyalty. But no, you don't fucking share loyalty. Starting out, you don't share loyalty. You create loyalty with yourself. And once you master loyalty with yourself, now you have grounds to loyalty. You own property in loyalty. You have a creed to loyalty. You have an oath to loyalty that makes sense, and then you become loyal, stupid motherfucker.